Hi there, folks. Back again with another sort of hobby video, a little bit of a hobby blog. Haven't done one of these in a while, but thought I'd do a little bit of a catch up and just show off some of the things that I was working on recently. I was quite happy to see that a company called RN Estudio has actually put together a range of miniatures, of which I'm going to be showing off here, that are based on the Rankin Bass animated version of The Hobbit that came out back in the 70s, I think it was. I really enjoyed that film. I think it's great. It's obviously of its time, and some of the animation quality is a little bit weird and it's a little bit funky in places. But in general, I tend to really enjoy that film, and I love the aesthetic that the artist went for. For the longest time, it was the way that I viewed a lot of the characters from The Hobbit in terms of artwork and things when I was sort of imagining the characters in my mind as I was reading the books and listening to the audiobooks and things like that. And so it's nice to see the range available from RN Studios. And then these prints came from 3DN Resin Prints. I'll have a link down below so you can go and check them out. Just so you can have a look at these, and if you like them, then you can add them to your own collection and use them with your own stuff. So I thought I'd just go through these. So they don't come with bases, so I've mounted these on just general Games Workshop bases, to be honest. This one's on a slightly larger one, so this one's the I've obviously undercoated these, so I'm going to get started with the painting on them. But this is like a Goblin master with a whip. Could be really good if you're going to do sort of like the Great Goblin and stuff from The Hobbit. Genuinely a pretty good print all round. There were a few supports that I had to chip off, and after undercoating you start to see a few more that I'll have to clean up as well, but overall not really that bad at all, and the detail's lovely on these. There's actually a range of goblins that were done by Tom Mears, I think, over on Dark Sword, that are similar in look to these goblins. So if you're somebody who's interested in picking up more of these goblins, because this is the only one currently available from RN Studio, then I would go and have a look at that metal range. As I say, I'll put a link down below so you can go and check that out. So there's the goblin that they did. It's quite a small range, as you can see. I got all of them. There's also this version of Gandalf, which I think is glorious. I love that he's got the scarf in there as well, and the big flowing beard. And the design is very much in keeping with the final look of the characters from the movie, the animated movie. Again, you can see some of the imperfections a little bit here and there on the model, but it's not massively, it's not too much, really. And once I've done a little bit of cleaning up, a little bit of painting, Gandalf will look fantastic. But yeah, really nice model of Gandalf there. We'll leave that one till later. We've also got Bilbo Baggins himself, with his lovely big feet and his cheeky grin, and his lovely pipe in hand. Again, a little bit of support stuff to clean up and things on the back, and some pitting here and there, but nothing that will look weird once you've got some paint on the model and actually got it prepared. Another good one, really nice little model. That again, fantastic, and very much one of my favorite book series and animated movies brought to life, which is always good to see. So yeah, really nice sculpt there of Mr. Bilbo Baggins. Before I go on to the painted one that I've got there, I just wanted to talk about a little bit about this one. So one of the things that's almost a pitfall of 3D printing that you really need to sort of be aware of is the delicacy of 3D prints. Now, a lot of the resin nowadays can be quite good and stuff like that, but obviously, in most cases, it's actually quite delicate. And you can see that this particular miniature of Gollum, with the very spindly fingers you see there, was always going to be a little bit of a tough one to get looking perfect. But I generally think the sculpt's not too bad on this, and I think the 3D print's fairly good as well. I think it'll still be fun to paint. The only thing I will recommend is that if you get this, just be aware that those leg joints are very, very, very delicate. I was literally sticking him onto the base and put a little bit of pressure on his back, and the legs snapped around the ankle there, as you can probably see where I'm pointing with my right hand. You just got to be very careful about that when it comes to building the models and stuff like that. But once you've got it on a base, it should be fine. Just be careful when you're when you're painting as well. Maybe don't hit it too hard with the dry brush, I would say. But yeah, so a Golem there as well for doing a little bit of riddles in the dark. And the last model from the set that they've done so far, hopefully they'll do some more in the future, was Thorin Oak and Shield. And yeah, I painted this fellow up this week, had a little bit of fun with him. I think he's come out looking quite good. I've just done the normal thing that I do with these models, to be honest. So I went in with the base coats, then gave it a wash, and then highlighted back up again using the same colours, really. I even attempted eyes on this fellow. They were a little bit sort of zoned out and kind of probably on magic mushrooms previously to this, but I went back in and tried to make them look a little bit more defined, and I don't think they look too bad. I think if you're looking at him from far away, you can't really tell that he's a little bit cross-eyed. But overall, I think he's turned out quite nicely. I did a little basing on him that I normally do, which is grass and some dirt and then a little bit of a tuft as well at the same time. And he's there sort of welcoming his fellow companions to go off on the journey with him. I painted him up matching some of the cells that I'd seen from the Hobbit animated show, and I think there are a few differences occasionally in his outfit and the colour choices that they went for, but generally I think that's mostly the colours that he had. He's got the blue hood, and then I did the sort of green jerkin and the sort of grey pants with the little brown boots there. And I had a lot of fun doing his face, actually. I thought it was really cool working on that and sort of getting into all the sort of definition that they've got into the sculpt and doing the hands as well. But yeah, that was my little collection of Rankin and Bass style miniatures that I think are well worth picking up if you're a fan of The Hobbit or Middle-earth in general and you're just looking for something a little bit different to paint up. As I say, I think RN Estudio has done a really nice job on these. They do a set of slightly more heroic, almost cartoon-style Fellowship members as well. Let's see if I can find the model. So I also got sent this one for free, which is this fellow here. That could well be a Hobbit of many descriptions. I was kind of looking at him as sort of maybe a Bilbo, but he could be equally Merry or Pippin, I think, depending on which way you wanted to go with it. So this one's also from RN Studios, but from a different sort of sculpting style, obviously, compared to the Rankin and Bass stuff. They do a whole fellowship of these alongside some of the other characters like Elrond and Galadriel and stuff. So if you're looking for some alternative models, then these ones are pretty nice. I will say they are not going to fit with the range from Games Workshop, because obviously they are much bigger. Obviously that guy's standing on the base here. He's a big 32mm model compared to the sort of true proportions of the 28mm Middle-earth range. So keep that in mind if you're looking for alternatives. These are slightly bigger than you'd expect. But obviously, if you've got a 3D printer, you can scale things down. If you're just buying the prints online, just make sure you check the scales as well, see if there's any comparison pictures. But yeah, they do a really nice job. Do 3DN. I'd make sure to go and check them out if you're looking to get your hands on some fun models. I will be back with another video to talk a little bit more about sort of what I've been working on at the moment. But yeah, I thought I'd just give a little bit of a shout out to both companies, the printer and the sculptors behind these, because I think they've done a really nice job on them, and it's a nice little bit of nostalgia for people to dive into. I would love to see them do a Bard miniature, because I love Bard from the animated version of The Hobbit. I think he's really cool, and I like his design. As well as maybe the armoured dwarves later on from the Battle of the Five Armies. So you could have them in their full regalia. I think that could be really fun. And maybe the Elven King Thranduil, because he's got like a really interesting woodland sprite look to him. But yeah, if you're looking to pick up some Rankin and Bass style dwarves, hobbits, Gollum, wizards, Istari, and goblins, then make sure you go and check these out. And then obviously I'll put a link down below to the Dark Sword page as well, if we can go and get some more goblins too. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this little look at some alternative Middle-earth miniatures, and I'll be back for another video very, very soon. Bye for now.